Hello. So, in the past, I have created lots and lots and lots of short form videos where I've shared with people on Instagram and TikTok how you create a batik in 30 seconds to 90 seconds. So basically, bish, bash, bosh, done. I've now decided I want to do longer form content where I share with you the process, how I create a design, how I pin up the fabric, how I mix the dyes, the whole journey, so that you can learn to do it too. Batik is the most gorgeous process in the whole wide world. It's wax, it's dyes, it's fabric. It's a craft that goes back years, ancient craft that goes back years and years, comes from Asia and Africa and Egypt. And I have been lucky enough to work with artists in different countries around the world learning how to do it. So I hope you enjoy what I'm going to show you now. I hope it encourages you maybe to have a go yourself. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it as much as I know I am going to enjoy creating it. So, when I start a batik, I have to have a frame to work on, and I very often buy my frames online. So here we go, I'm just taking the cellophane off a 30 centimetre by 30 centimetre frame. It's a picture frame, so it means that what I have to do is basically take out the backing and also the perspex that's at the front. So I'm going to be doing that. Here we go. And done, ready to add fabric to the frame. So my fabric is now pinned up very, very tightly, and I'm going to apply dyes to the cloth, and I'm going to do it in a very easy way. So this is my dye, my bright lemon, stronger yellow and orange. I'm just going to use a sponge. Sponge says allow me to be relaxed and free. Oh, little blob, but it won't matter. And done. So I've decided I'm not really very happy with the colours that I've laid down. They're too similar. The mid yellow is too similar to the orange. So I'm just putting on a green dye on top to add a little bit more definition to my pattern. There we go, and done. So now I have to get inspired to draw an artwork on top of my fabric, and today I'm using an artist called Vasily Kandinsky. His work is full of colour and shape and often inspires me. So let's get started. So now I'm applying the wax to my fabric, and I'm waxing everywhere there's pencil lines. I'm using a junting. This is my wax carrier. I put hot wax into it. I clean it. I put it in my right hand because I'm right-handed, and now I wax over the pencil lines that I've drawn. You have to concentrate and you have to focus. It can be quite tricky just to get the line straight. I mean, practice makes perfect with everything, but I love doing it. The wax just flows out of that nib at the end. There we go. And now I'm just beginning to get there. When the wax gets cold, you go back into the hot wax again and refill it up with cleaner, fresher wax. I'm now going to use a brush to fill in the central area. And there we go. Like with anything, when you put paint on a brush, you run out of it, so you have to keep dipping in and out of the wax. The wax needs to be very hot, as I said, like runny honey or just very loose oil. And you can see when it gets cold because it doesn't flow beautifully off the brush. But it's great fun to do. Really soothing. So there we go. So what's happening as I'm waxing is I'm protecting the orange, the yellow and the green dyes in the shape of the pattern that I'm waxing. I'm now applying pink dye on top of my cloth. I'm using a sponge, and you can see that everywhere I've waxed won't take the dye. So my image is beginning to peek through. The wax has protected the yellow, the orange and the green shades in the pattern that I've chosen. Very nearly done. I love applying dye. My dye is now dried and I've drawn a design in pencil again on my fabric. I'm now going to wax this design using a brush. There we go. This is a large area and therefore I'm quite comfortable just using a brush instead of a junting for this. Like with very large areas where there's no fiddly bits, it's actually far better using a brush. To keep going in and out of the wax. And done. Or is it done? Should I put something else in here? Should I do something else? This is often a dilemma I get as an artist. And I'm wondering, I think I should fill in some of these. Just an instinct. So that is exactly what I'm now doing. Every other opening is now going to be waxed, protecting the colour underneath, which in this instance is obviously mainly orange and bits of pink. Yeah, I'm done. I think that's much better. Or am I done? Or am I done? Is there something I should do there? Maybe there is. Maybe there is. And yes, I've decided to do a little tiny triangle in this area. And I feel I'm done now. I feel I'm done. Or am I done? I think I'm still not done. Oh my goodness, this is the thing. This is the thing. So I've decided I need to put a circle in here. Just an instinct, just a feeling that I was yet to be finished. And that is just what I'm doing. I know this is right. I am now definitely, absolutely done. Or am I? I'm not sure. I can see one other area, and that's here where I'd like to do something. This is what happens when you get into the flow. You start doing something and you think you know when it's going to end, and you think you know what it's going to look like. And the truth of it is, you don't. And that's the beauty of being an abstract artist, is that actually the journey is continually unfolding. And we don't know what it's going to be until the end. It's like reading a book that you haven't written. You don't know what the final chapter's going to be. I had no idea that I was actually going to put this circle in. And now I can see it is absolutely complete. It's done. It's finished. I can put my final colour on. Oh, I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed being in flow.
So now for my final colour before I iron out the wax. I'm going to be using a bright pink. And here we go. You can see the image emerging that I've just waxed. This is a good colour. It's a good contrast actually. I'm quite happy. Again, as I said, this is one of my favourite things. Applying dye to cloth. Done. Excess dye is now taken off.
Okay, so time to iron out the wax. My iron is on a very strong setting, probably nearly at the hottest. And look, as I move the iron over the newspaper, the wax comes into it. Also, the batik can stick to the newspaper. My final sheet of newspaper, because I think after this it will be complete. Ta-da! Finished batik.